Good day, everyone. I am Idel El Portalio, and I'm going to discuss 5 local and international educational leaders that I chose. Let me begin first with a quote. Great leaders harness personal courage, capture the hearts and minds of others, and empower new leaders to make the world a better place, by Maxine Driscoll. So this means that great leaders are brave and not afraid to take risk. They inspire people by connecting with their emotions and thoughts, making them want to follow their lead. They also help others become leaders, creating a ripple effect of positive change in the world. So these are the following local leaders that I chose. Now I will discuss them individually. So let us first start with Leonor Magtoles Briones. So her full name is Leonor Mirasol Magtoles Briones. She was born on October 16, 1940 at Giholngan, Negros Oriental. Her parents are Carlos Magtoles Sr. and Ursula Mirasol. She obtained her Bachelor of Business Administration degree with a major in accounting from Silliman University in 1958 and her Master of Public Administration degree with a major in local government and fiscal administration from the University of the Philippines, Diliman in 1967. So, as the Secretary of Education from 2016 to 2022, Briones spearheaded the implementation of the K-12 educational reform and promoted the mother tongue-based multilingual education to improve literacy rates by using local languages in early education. She also implemented the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan to ensure that education continued through online, TV, radio, and modular learning methods. So these are her following advocacies. Leonor Briones' dedicated service has greatly improved Philippine education and public finance. She implemented a K-12 reform, making the curriculum globally competitive, and introduced teaching in local languages to boost literacy. As for me, Briones motivates and inspires me to embrace change, strive for excellence, and work towards common goals. The style of leadership she possessed is transformational leadership style. Briones demonstrates key characteristics of transformational leadership, such as having a clear vision for the future of education and public service, inspiring others to share in that vision, and empowering them to contribute towards its realization. So the next local leader that I chose is Sara Duterte. Her full name is Sara Zimmerman Duterte Carpio. She was born on May 31, 1978, Davao City. Her parents are Rodrigo Duterte and Elizabeth Zimmerman. Sara Duterte is commonly known as Inday Sara. So she is a Filipino lawyer and politician who is the 15th and current Vice President of the Philippines. Duterte graduated from San Pedro College, initially aiming to pursue a medical career before taking up a law degree initially from San Beda College, but graduated in San Sebastian College, Recoletos. So before politics, Sara had a brief stint as a court attorney in the Supreme Court of the Philippines in 2006. She then served as vice mayor from 2007 to 2010 and elected mayor in 2010. Although a newcomer in 2007, Sara demonstrated transformational leadership skills among the members of the city council. So, Vice President of the Philippines and Secretary of Education, Sara Duterte, advocated for education reforms through unity and shared education goals as she was elected as CMEO Council President for 2023 to 2025. Sara Duterte's unconditional service to her people fosters trust, stability, and empowerment within her community. Through her dedication to addressing key issues like education, public safety, and social welfare, she improves the quality of life for her constituents, ensuring inclusivity and resilience in the face of challenges. So, the style of leadership she possessed is transformational leadership. So, she inspires and motivates her followers by articulating a compelling vision for the future, particularly in advocating for causes such as education, women's empowerment, and social welfare. She also inspires me because she demonstrates strong leadership qualities through her unwavering dedication to serving her constituents and addressing critical issues facing her community and the nation. And also, her commitment to public services sets a positive example for aspiring leaders. The next one is Maris Jokno. Her full name is Maria Serena Encarnacion Icasiano Jokno. She was born on August 16, 1954 at Manila, Philippines. Her parents are Jose Jokno and Carmen Icasiano Jokno. She graduated UP Magna Cum Laude and earned a PhD in African and Oriental Studies at the University of London in 1983. Jokno succeeded fellow historian Ambeth Ocampo as chairperson of NHCP on April 7, 2011. Jokno has made significant contributions to Philippine historiography through her research and writings, particularly on Philippine history, heritage conservation, and human rights advocacy. She advocates for the preservation of Filipino cultural heritage and promotes historical consciousness among Filipinos, particularly through education and public awareness campaigns. Jokno's work has helped raise awareness about the importance of preserving Philippine history and cultural heritage, fostering a sense of national identity and pride among Filipinos. I am inspired of Maris Jokno because of her great leadership and also her love for our country. Her style of leadership that she possessed is transformational leadership because she has demonstrated a commitment to empowering others through education and promoting a sense of shared responsibility for preserving and celebrating Philippine heritage. So the next local leader is Esther A. Eugenia. She was born on February 12, 1951 at Cauayan, Isabela, Philippines. She earned her PhD in Educational Research and Evaluation and Master's degree in Mathematics Education from the University of the Philippines in 1990 and 1978, respectively. She holds a BSE degree in Mathematics Education from Philippine Normal University, 1976. Dr. Eugenia made significant contributions in the sectors of science and education and in human resource development that have lasting impact for the country. Eugenia advocates for quality teacher education, continuous professional development, and educational research. She emphasizes the importance of preparing highly competent teachers to improve the overall quality of education in the Philippines. Her leadership at PNU has contributed to the enhancement of teacher education in the Philippines, ensuring that future educators are well equipped to meet the demands of the profession. So, Dr. Esther Eugenia inspires future educators like me by championing high standards and innovative teaching methods. She advocates for inclusive education and continuous professional development, motivating teachers to strive for excellence. And also, her leadership and dedication serve as a powerful example for aspiring educators. So, the style of leadership she possessed is transformational leadership because she focused on innovation and quality improvement in teacher education, inspiring faculty and students to strive for excellence. So now let us move on to Armin Luestro. His full name is Armin Altamirano Luistro. She was born on December 24, 1961 at Lipa, Batangas, Philippines. Her parents are Manuel Luistro and Magdalena Malabayabas. His unconditional service to his people has significantly improved educational opportunities, particularly through the implementation of inclusive policies like the K-12 program, fostering empowerment and social mobility. Brother Armen began his schooling at De La Salle Lipa, where he finished his primary and secondary education. He earned his Bachelor of Arts degree in Philosophy and Letters at DLSU in Manila, where he also obtained his master's degree in Religious Education and Values Education. Brother Armin Luestro significantly improved Philippine education by implementing the K-12 program as Secretary of Education and addressing resources gaps in public schools. As president of De La Salle University, he led academic and infrastructure advancement, elevating the institution's status. Brother Armin also passionately advocates for accessible and quality education, believing it to be a fundamental right for all Filipino children. And also, he promotes the values of Lasallian education, emphasizing holistic development, service, and social justice. He improved educational opportunities, particularly through the implementation of inclusive policies like the K-12 program, fostering empowerment and social mobility. So, Brother Armen Luestro inspires future educators like me by showing them the power of education to change lives. Through his work as an advocate for quality education in the Philippines, he demonstrates the importance of dedication and passion in teaching. So, he possesses transformational leadership style because he inspires and motivates others to achieve higher levels of performance and success. So, those are the local leaders that I chose. Now, let us move on to the international leaders, and also we will discuss them individually. Okay, so now let us start with Andreas Kellecher. So, he was born on July 7, 1964 at Hamburg, Germany. He studied physics in Germany and received a degree in mathematics and statistics in Australia. He is the recipient of numerous honors and awards, including the Theodore Hughes Prize awarded in the name of the first president of the Federal Republic of Germany for exemplary democratic engagement. He is the Director of Education and Skills and Special Advisor on Education Policy to the Secretary General at the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development in Paris. He advocates for evidence-based educational policymaking, emphasizing the need for countries to learn from each other to improve their education system. He inspires future educators by showing the impact of data-driven education policies. Through initiatives like the Program for International Student Assessment, he demonstrates the importance of using evidence to improve teaching and learning. Okay, so the leadership style that he possessed is transformational leadership. Skelecher's approach inspires change and innovation in educational system by providing data-driven insights and encouraging collaborative learning among nations. So the next international leader is Jacinda Ardern. So her full name is Dame Jacinda Kate Laurel Ardern. She was born on July 26, 1980 at Hamilton, New Zealand. Her parents are Rose Ardern and Laurel Ardern. Ardern attended the University of Waikato, graduating in 2001 as a Bachelor of Communication Studies in Politics and Public Relations. A specialist 3-year degree, she took a semester abroad at Arizona State University in 2001. Ardern gained global recognition for her handling of the Christchurch Mosque shootings, her response to the COVID-19 pandemic, and her efforts in child poverty reduction and climate change. Ardern is a strong advocate for kindness in politics, mental health awareness, and social welfare. Her compassionate leadership has inspired future educators to incorporate empathy, resilience, and social responsibility into their teaching. So Jacinda Ardern inspires me by leading with kindness and compassion. Her inclusive policies and response to crises, such as the Christchurch mosque shootings and the COVID-19 pandemic, demonstrates the importance of empathy and leadership. And in addition to that, Ardern's commitment to social welfare and mental health awareness encourages future educators to prioritize the the well-being of their students and communities. So the style of leadership that she possessed is laissez-faire leadership. Ardern empowers her cabinet by giving them freedom to manage their ministries while setting clear expectations and providing support when needed. So the next one is Ken Robinson. So he is dead and he died on August 21, 2020. So he earned a Bachelor of Education from Bretton Hall College of Education and a PhD in Education from the University of London Institute of Education. He was a professor at the University of Warwick and chaired the National Advisory Committee on Creative and Cultural Education, producing the influential report All Our Futures: Creativity, Culture, and Education. So in 1998, he led a national commission on creativity, education, and the economy for the UK government. Robinson advocated for a revolution in education that prioritized creativity, personalized learning, and the development of individual talents. So his ideas have significantly influenced educators worldwide, encouraging them to foster creativity and critical thinking in their students. And also, Ken Robinson inspires future educators like me by advocating for creativity and innovation in education. So, according to his TED Talk, Do Schools Kill Creativity? Challenges traditional educational paradigms and encourages educators to foster individuality and imagination in their students. Okay, so Ken Robinson's style of leadership was laissez-faire leadership style. Robinson believed in giving educators the freedom to explore and innovate within their classrooms, trusting in their professional judgment to create engaging learning environments. Then the next one is Sugata Mitra. So he was born on February 12, 1952 at Kolkata, India. After earning a PhD in solid-state physics from the Indian Institute of Technology, during which time he published several papers on organic semiconductors, he went on to research battery technology at the Center of Energy Studies in the IIT. Mitra's experiments demonstrated how children can self-organize and learn independently using computers. His work inspired the development of minimally invasive education. Mitra advocates for child-driven education and the use of technology to facilitate self-directed learning. His research has led to the establishment of self-organized learning environments around the world, promoting learner autonomy. So, as for me, Mitra's work encourages future educators to trust in the innate curiosity of learners and to create environments that empower students to take control of their own education. So the style of leadership that he possessed is laissez-faire leadership style. Mitra's approach allows students to take charge of their learning, with educators acting as facilitators rather than traditional authority figures. So now we are down to the last international leader, which is Michelle Rhee. So her full name is Michelle Ann Rhee. She was born on December 25, 1969 at Ann Arbor, Michigan, United States. So she graduated from the exclusive Maumee Valley Country Day School. She earned a bachelor's degree in government from Cornell and Master of Public Policy from Harvard University. During her tenure at DCPS, Rhee implemented numerous reforms, including closing underperforming schools, increasing teacher accountability, and promoting merit-based pay. Rhee is a strong advocate for educational reform, focusing on accountability, teacher quality, and student performance. Her policies have sparked nationwide debates on education reforms, emphasizing the importance of accountability and performance metrics in school. So, Rhee's focus on teacher quality and student achievement motivates me to prioritize excellence and to advocate for policies that drive positive change in education. So, the style of leadership that she possessed is transactional leadership style. Rhee's leadership focused on achieving measurable outcomes, using rewards and consequences to drive performance improvements. Okay, so those are the 5 local and 5 international educational leaders that I have been chosen. So before I end my presentation, I would like to leave a quote. The function of education, therefore, is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. By Martin Luther King Jr. This means that education's purpose is to train minds to think deeply and evaluate things carefully. It's not just about knowledge, it's about developing both smarts and good character. So, a truly educated person is both smart and morally upright. That ends my presentation. Thank you for listening and have a great day ahead.